It's an amazing day. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Andrea, and on this channel, we talk about all things related to mature living for the woman over 50. So stay tuned. So if you're new here, what I do is just kind of break down some categories for favorites and reflections for the previous month. Now, for the month of April, usually I start off with any good movies or favorite movies that I saw. And I really don't have any movies down. I don't think I watched any, traditional movies. If I did, I do not remember. So we're going to skip over that category for the month of April. However, let's talk about shows for the month of April. Now, shows can include like a series, something of that nature, or an event that I participated in or had the opportunity to attend. And I had the opportunity to attend the Michael Jackson experience that came here locally. And of course, it was like a simulation or a gentleman who, sort of portrayed Michael Jackson and his backup singers and bands, and it had video of nostalgic moments from Michael Jackson's life, and the singing, the dancing was absolutely phenomenal. So if I'm not if I remember correctly, the Michael Jackson experience is touring in different parts of the country, so I'm sure you can Google it if it's something you're interested in, if you're a huge Michael Jackson fan. I don't consider myself a huge Michael Jackson fan. However, I did grow up in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, and so I remember Michael Jackson's beginning as Jackson 5, and then onto his, Off the Wall album as a, individual, and all of his music I absolutely loved in the 80s. And I also had an opportunity to attend his Bad tour from the album entitled Bad, right? But that was a amazing experience. And if you've been watching, I think you guys know a little bit about it if you've been watching my dating updates and all that. And then also just a great time. The atmosphere was well, the music was well, even the audience, the energy of the audience and the people who were there was phenomenal. So I had a great time. So my favorite show for the month of April was the Michael Jackson experience. Okay, so the next category is books, my favorite books, or the books that I read for the month of April. And for the month of April, my book of the month was Ethic 1, which is kind of an urban fiction. I'm reading, if you guys follow me, know that I read in our little family book club, if you will, of me and my two nieces. They're adult nieces, they're 40 and 43. And we read the book Ethic 1. So if you've been following me, I think I talked to you last month about a book called Moth to a Flame, which was by this author as well, who her name is, I just forgot. I always get her, Ashley Internet, because it's two first names. Ashley Internet, and she is the author of Moth to a Flame, which was the first book in this series, if you will. And so we read Ethic 1. So I'm going to read you a little synopsis about Ethic, because there are like 6 books. I'm not sure if we're going to go directly into 6th book. We are reading Ethic 2 for this month. But let me just give you kind of a little background. As I said, it is, sort of an urban fiction type of book. So here we go. Ethic has power, but love has always been evasive. After losing every significant relationship in his life, Ethic is a man who refuses to love again. Focusing on being a better man and keeping his family safe, he is raising 3 children, one of which is a defiant teenage girl, Morgan. No matter how hard he tries to keep Morgan away from the streets, she is determined to defy him. When Morgan finds herself in a vulnerable position, Ethic is pulled back into the deadly game where he was once king. In this explosive spinoff to Ashley Internet's Moth to a Flame, you will fall in love with Ezra Okafor, aka Ethic, as he gambles on love and in the streets in hopes that this time he will win. So that is the synopsis of Ethic 1. We are now currently reading Ethic 2. So it's just a good series. If that's something or sounds like something that you're interested in, pick it up. If you're looking for, a sort of way to escape, if you will. As I said before, traditionally I read a lot of nonfiction books, self-help, spiritual, things of that nature. And so this is just a great opportunity. I love interacting with my nieces and just having, good fun, raw talk. We talk about these books and it spurs into other things. So it has been really, really fun. So for the month of April, I read Ethic, and I am still working on, I'm still working on How to Do the Work. That's a big book. I talked about that last month. So let's move on. Okay, so the next category that I have on my list for monthly reflections is called Sips / food. So that's any good food or drinks or something that, just really stuck out to me for the month. And for the month of April, it was Cuban food. I had an opportunity to dine at a Cuban restaurant. That was my first experience eating Cuban food. And they did have a vegetarian meal that I ate, which was called Paella Vegetariana, okay? And Cuban, I guess, right? But this is what it had in it. It's a traditional Spanish rice dish with artichoke hearts, roasted red peppers, asparagus, tomatoes, potatoes, peas, and spinach. And it was also served with plantains and bread. It was absolutely delicious. It had so much flavor. And the local restaurant that I ate at was in Richmond. If you're coming through Richmond, it's called Cuba with a K. Cuba with a K. So it was absolutely delicious. And if you're interested in trying different foods, they had a great menu. Check it out. So the win was the Cuban restaurant. So the next category is home, right? Anything happening around home that I purchased or found favorable for me at home. And so for the month of April, it was simply those new white sheets. If you guys been following, I bought some 100% cotton white sheets. And I know that sounds maybe really trivial, maybe to some. However, I have been on this search for sheets that would peel up after a while, right? So I had to do some research, and I did some research, and I found out that, it's because if it's a polyester blend, you may have that particular situation happen over time with your sheets, even though they may be a little more comfortable, if you will, because with the polyester, a little softer. However, but with cotton sheets, 100% cotton sheets, you don't get that. And I'm not sure of the thread count of these sheets, but I think I did purchase them at TJ Maxx or Ross when I did my shopping haul. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. And they have been so comfortable and cozy, and all the feels from, yes, some sheets, 100% cotton sheets. Okay. For the win for the month of April for my home. Now on to memorable moments, right? For the month of April, and I have several. So if you've been following me, you guys know I went to Connecticut in the month of April, and I had an opportunity to see my family, see my mom, spend time with her. She is 84 years old, and I haven't seen her since last year, like last July. Ever since COVID has happened, it has kind of changed the way that we sort of navigate our visiting and all those things. And always wonderful just to be home, like that's still home, right? And to see my mom, and to, I talk to her every other day or so, but there's nothing like me laying my eyes on her and just having fun and talking and catching up and just being in her presence, right? And I don't take any of these moments for granted. I got to do some, small chores and things for her, and it was great. And so I'm, looking to go again before the year's end, maybe once or twice before the year's end, and so that was great. In addition, while I was there, I spent some time with my nieces. So, since we have this book club, so now we get together, we had coffee, and we, got some food, and we were able to hang out and catch up and just, shoot the breeze. And that was so much fun. family is so important, and not that we don't know that, but I just recognize that as I mature and get a little older, that I even value it even more. All of my relationships in general, and that'll be for another video, but just really had a great time. And then lastly, right at the end of April, I chaperoned a field trip for my grandson Blaze. So you guys have been watching, you've seen some pictures of him. He just turned 5 in March, and he is all boy, okay, all activity. And so that was so much fun. We went to a local park that has animals, like a little mini farm, and the kids were all over the place. I didn't go to sleep, I worked the night before, so I got off and, chaperoned, and just had such a great time. Listen, y'all, these kids these days are hilarious. They're so smart and they're so funny, and they're so much fun just to watch how they interact with each other. I had a ball. I really had a ball. So those were my 3 favorite moments for the month of April. And I love absolutely doing these videos because it just it helps keep the memories and the simple things in life that we enjoy in the forefront. It really does. So what did I learn for the month of April, right? And I won't go into what made me learn this. However, here is the principle that I learned, and you probably have heard it before, but I was able to apply this in my life and moving forward, that we have to learn to be patient with people's process. Sometimes we want people to do things or encourage them in a way, but we have to respect their own process. We cannot change people. And we have to accept them and be patient for where they are, right? And we don't have to bring them over, if you will, to what we like. They don't have to bring us over to what they like, right? But we can respect each other's space, if you will, or process, right? And I might go over there a little bit, and they might come over here a little bit, but be patient with people's processes and allow people to be themselves, right? At the core of who they are. So I learned that in a major way in the month of April. Respect people's processes, because first of all, you never know what a person is dealing with or has dealt with. Okay? Remember. And so what do I want to improve on? So last month I talked about time management for the month of April, which, I'm generally a good time manager, so I get everything done. However, I will say this. I don't feel that I accomplished that because my mini rant is physical therapy. I'm in physical therapy for my shoulder, and I have to go twice a week. And I know it's only twice a week, but it's on the days that I work. And so it has really thrown off my schedule in terms of exercising and working out. So I try to fit some type of activity in after, but I'm really not managing my time or in the flow like I want. So I'm going to keep that as a goal that I share with you guys. I have totally other goals in my life, okay? But that I'm sharing here on a sort of simple level is to really improve my time management. So we're already into May. Today is May 12th, almost halfway through May. And so that's really something that I'm working on for this month. And I've been challenged already because I've been traveling, right? So this week was all about unraveling from the travel. So hopefully we'll get it a little bit better starting next week. And if I can get 2 solid good weeks of time, feeling like I'm managing my time well, I'll be on the right road to success in that area for me. And so there you have it, some of my April reflections. Again, it's just something I do every month to really kind of look back and highlight some major points of that month, to see growth, to see fun, to see how I am managing my life in a variety of ways, right? And I think that's very important, because it's very easy to get stuck and stagnant in life, right? So where are we finding a little bit of joy? Where are we having some fun, right? How are we literally living in this season of our life? So listen, make sure that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Right? Hang around. You know, stay on the roster, if you will. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what you hear here, and make sure you hit that notification button so you can get all future notifications of my uploads. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Mwah.
Feel the way, but I know you see it. I said, don't mind, but I